So if you look here, I now have two filters on this pool. I have my sand filter and I have my cartridge filter. Now the cartridge filter or the sand filter work great as a standalone filtration system. You can use one of them, but since I already had a sand filter and I wanted to up my filtration for my swimming pool, I went ahead and added a cartridge filter. That's going to actually make this cartridge filter do less work because the sand filter is still going to catch most of the debris in the pool. There's some things it will miss. The cartridge filter right here hopefully should catch what it misses, bringing very little to no contaminants back into the pool's water. If you've ever vacuumed your pool real heavily and you have a sand filter, you may notice how clean your pool gets, and then you backwash it, and then you go ahead and rinse it, then you turn it back to filtration mode. When you do, you may see a cloud or a little bit of dirt, greenness go back into the pool's water. Well, because this sand filter goes to the cartridge filter first, when it does that, it's going to only shoot to the cartridge filter and it's going to stop any of that from getting into your pool. Double filtration. It's a great way, and I've been using it this season. I installed it just about a month ago, and I have noticed the pool's water clear. I've noticed no extra contaminants going into your pool. Now, sometimes when you have a big algae outbreak, of course, you want to try to prevent that by doing everything correctly, and that won't happen, but it happens to the best of us, even me, when I let my pool pump go out and decided not to replace it last year, and then I had a green pool. I have a video on that, but it took a long time to clear that up. The sand filter had a large amount of a task to clean the pool. It couldn't really do it. It did eventually, and it took a lot of time. If I would have had this cartridge filter, it would have stopped a lot of that green from going back into the pool quicker. I think I may have needed the new cartridge once my pool was clean, because it would have done its job and probably deserved either a very good washing rinse down or a brand new filter. But if you do this system with a clear pool, you should be able to last all year on one cartridge, maybe even multiple years, or just make it a point to replace it every year. You can see, I'm going to show you my cartridge, and it doesn't look that bad. That's because the sand filter is doing its job. It's doing what it's supposed to for the most part. But if you look closely, and it may be hard to tell, you can tell it is still catching some debris. It is still catching some dirt. Even some miniature bugs and things are getting through that sand filter. If they are on that filter cartridge, the sand filter missed it, and it would have went back into my pool should I have not had this cartridge filter. So I just wanted to show this double filtration system I've set up. I don't think it's something you should do when you get a pool. You shouldn't just automatically say, I'm going to install a pool and put two filters on it. Not really. But if you have a sand filter and you want to add some extra filtration, you can go ahead and do so. This cartridge filter has a gauge, just like a sand filter does. It can show you how much pressure it has, and you will lose a small amount of pressure possibly from your return, but I haven't noticed a whole lot. But it's worked great, and I'm glad I did it. You can see that the plumbing is done by me. It's not the best, but it gets the job done. And if you are looking at trying to up your sand filter filtration, then this is a great way to do it. Just go ahead and get you, and I'll put a link in the description to this one. Now I will say the bad thing is it's hard to get this lid off. I don't know, I need to maybe grease it or put some Vaseline on it or something, because getting the lid off is a challenge. It takes a lot of strength just to kind of get that thing to turn, but once you get it turning, it will be removed very easily. And going on is the same way. Once you put it back on, it is kind of hard to get it to the last minute. It's got a little clip that you push down and then you can turn the lid. Once you turn it just a little, you don't have to hold that clip no more. You can go ahead and remove it. And then when you put it back on, it will snap in when you get to that spot. So other than that, that's the only thing I've noticed is it's kind of hard to get the lid to turn. It's really tight, but it hasn't leaked. Everything has worked well with it, have had no issues. And of course, it goes from the skimmer to the sand filter to the cartridge filter, then to my chlorinator, which then returns the water to the pool. So it's a pretty good system that I think is working well. I'm always adding to this thing, no telling what I'll add next. I might add some mineral supplement, which I've talked about in one of my videos for a season or so. But it is really not a bad idea. If you're having issues, go ahead and add you a cartridge filter to your sand filter. Sure, you can use it. You could say, I just removed the sand filter. I thought about it, and then just use the cartridge filter because it will have a little better filtration. But then your cartridge filter is going to be used up more quickly. You're going to have to clean it more often or replace it sooner. So why not keep your sand filter, let it do the majority of the job, and just use your cartridge filter as a backup, and then let the water go back in the pool. It's going to be so much cleaner. It is working well, and just something you might want to consider at some point when it's time to upgrade your swimming pool.